That is awesome, dude. That is way awesome.
Hey y'all, coming to you from the international headquarters of ScottieDTV, but I was down at Big Oak Garage, and we got the 2005 GMC Denali, the SSUV. We got it done so that we could do a feature on it, and we're ready to put some miles on it. Actually, we had a trip to Vegas we did in it, and it performed flawlessly. It was awesome. It was great to get out and finally be able to put some miles on it, but we put almost 4,000 miles as a shakedown on it, and as soon as we got back, I got it cleaned up so we could shoot the feature. Hope y'all enjoy it. Let me get the camera turned around.
So what do you got here, Scotty? What is this, a Yukon? Everybody's calling it a Tahoe.
Everybody calls it a Tahoe.
Yeah.
It's a Yukon. It's a Yukon Denali. How cool is this?
So how did you come up with
Doing an SUV.
Doing a SUV or a Yukon, a Denali of all things?
Well, to start with, it's partly yours and Jimmy's fault because 2 years before this project, y'all would ride around. We'd be riding around. And you'd be talking about we need to get Scotty a hot rod. We need to get Scotty a hot rod. And I kept telling y'all, guys, I need something reliable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love these cars that I cover a bunch, and they can get you from point A to point B. But, I just don't know if it would work. And we had outgrown the Mustang. And I don't know. I was thinking one day, and we ended up, you and Jimmy and I were riding around Pigeon Forge Rod Run. And I said, boys, what do you think about, I don't know, a Chevy SUV? I didn't even know at the time. And you were like, you like the Tahoe or the Yukon better? I was like, is there a difference? Let me see. So then you showed me the picture, and I was like, well, I like the grill of the Yukon a little better. I don't know. For the next hour and a half, we were just, this thing, we were going to do all this stuff to it. I mean, it was,
We even had ice cream and we're talking
Yeah,
about
right. That's what I'm saying. No, we got a meeting together on the strip so we could talk about it, And then at some point, because we had talked about supercharging and turbocharging and all-wheel drive and all this stuff. And then at some point, reality sank in, and we were like, well, I don't know, boys. I think it was actually you, which usually that's not where it comes from. But I think it was you. You were sitting in the back, and you're like, yeah, I mean, we got to keep this thing in check, guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And I wanted to do burnouts, be able to do burnouts, because everybody screams at me to do burnouts, and the Mustang won't do them in July, So, anyways, I was like, I asked you how much, and you were looking them up online, and I was like, I think I can afford to buy one, but I don't know if I can afford to do anything else to it. We're like, we were driving to Boaz, right? Where's that at, guys? We were going to Boaz, and you were like, the only problem with this one, Scotty, is all-wheel drive, and, I know you want to do burnouts, but at the end of the day, with me traveling and the weather I deal with and those kind of things, I was like, no, I'm good with that as long as we can get it to perform. And, we rolled in and we met this dude, and the thing was in great shape for what it was. It was a 200,000 mile salvage vehicle. Yeah, no, I bought it, and the next thing you know, I brought it to Big Oak, and guys, this is where the conversation changes, because I don't know nothing but cool. I brought it to Will, and I said, what I like. What did you all do to it?
Well, first thing we did was, not long after we bought it, we kind of made a wish list, and we went to SEMA, hit the ground running, trying to help get, you sponsored, right, so we could build this vehicle the way we really wanted to build it. Because like you said at first, I mean, if we were having to buy everything, if you were having to buy everything for this, there's no way that you could have done it. We picked up some good sponsors. Next thing you know, bam, parts are rolling in. One of the first things we did was rip the motor out.
The first things we did was make it a non-Denali.
We took all the cladding off, the running boards off, did all of that, and
the roof rack,
filled all the holes.
Fab work as we could do.
Right.
We didn't really have any plan. Custom cool ideas, but there was no need to change the body.
No,
right?
No, and really the biggest body mod was kind of oh crap, what are we going to do here?
Right.
So we took the running boards off because we were going to lower the vehicle. There's no need to have running boards on a lowered vehicle. They look kind of silly. So Nate came to do the wrap, and he just had measurements, factory measurements of the side height. Well, the running boards were like 4 inches tall. Well, that was included in his wrap. Well, when he laid the wrap up there, all the sponsors was hanging off. They were going to be like, they were going to be underneath. And so I just kind of stepped back and I'm like, all right, give me a little time. I said, well, we're gonna build some, whatever we call them, rocker extensions.
I like rocker extensions.
All right, so
you can call them skirts on there.
Skirts, whatever, Nate showed up and the wrap was too long. I was like, perfect time to really do this. And now because one of the things that I love doing on a car is doing a wedge cut in the body and getting the bottom of the bumper or the valence under the bumper and the rocker on the same plane. And when the bumper's way up high or way down low, it just kind of looks goofy. So now, that's all back on the same plane like it was from the factory. So
no, it's one of my favorite features. Yep. Yeah, it looks awesome, and it was a great place to put the sponsors.
Yep, perfect.
And then we pulled the motor.
Yep.
And ended up sending that to RM Motor Werks.
Yep, RM Motor Werks.
And they rebuilt the motor and did all the parts, provided the labor and the parts and everything on the motor.
Yep.
And we got that back. And tell me a little bit about what we got going underneath the hood. I know it's a twin turbo 6-liter, but
it's it was bored a little bit, not a whole lot, just to kind of clean it up a little bit.
Right.
It's all forged internals, all ARP fasteners. The twin turbo kit is from
Speed
Engineering. The only thing we changed on that was the tube coming from the intake.
Right.
I didn't really like the way, it went over to the passenger side and then back down to the intercooler.
Right.
It worked. It worked fine.
It did work, yeah.
I just
aesthetically it did
Aesthetically, I did not
right.
think it. I thought we could do something that looked better, being that we don't have a stock intake. We got the Holley high ram intake.
Right.
So we contacted our friends at Brice Thomas Radiator. I got them to build a new intercooler. It's actually a double pass intercooler where the air intake goes in right in the middle of it versus coming into one side.
And then Tim, he gave us
some
cool coating there.
Yep, Zybar. And so we coated all the exhaust, the turbos, all the plumbing with that coppery goldish colored Zybar, which as far as single products that we put on it, that one blew my mind.
Oh no, yeah, no, I don't even. Today, I still don't know how it works. I just know it does. I
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, no, I brag about it. And how do you have a product that looks like paint? It just goes on as thin as paint, and they're claiming it reduces
thinner than paint.
It reduces heat by 90%, radiant heat by 90%. How's that work? And folks, I'm here to tell you, it works like a charm, man. It's a really cool product. Proud to have that on there. And then we struggled a little bit with tuning, and we ended up we took it over to Charlotte and had Heintz Racing, Jeff over there, figure out that we had some clogged fuel injector and some things like that, and he got it running like a top.
What a hell of a guy he is, man.
Oh, man, let me tell you what. And I tell people, I felt like Charlotte shut down. And whatever it took to get that thing going so we could get to SEMA, that's what everybody, not just Jeff, but parts we needed. So now, just a big shout out to all those guys. What about wheels?
That's something that you and I sat in front of my computer. I think we looked at every 6-lug Chevy wheel in existence. And
lesser friends would have parted ways and never talked again. Yes.
And I stumbled upon TSW's website. We kind of wanted a Pro Touring-y feel.
Well, we originally set out we wanted to change it to 5 lugs so we could get anything we wanted on.
Exactly. Yeah. And so we still had that vision of a Pro Touring type wheel. We didn't have any wheel sponsors. So we knew we had to find something that was A, affordable, and B, looking cool. And I can't remember exactly what these cost, but they were very, very reasonable. And I don't know if we could, obviously we could have went off, designed a set of wheels and made them better. But, it's like when we both seen that wheel, it was just like, dude,
right.
That's it, done.
Yeah.
And they came in and they were kind of a gunmetal gray color, and we put them on there and we're like, yeah, it looks pretty good. And then we got to looking at the rendering that Daniel Maffett did, and we're like, man, it really looks awesome with them orange wheels.
Right.
The
copper wheels set it off.
Yeah, Maffett did a heck of a job.
Right.
Doing the rendering and designing the wrap and the wheels and everything.
Giving us a look, yeah.
And so, we pulled them off and went back to talk to Shane in the paint shop, and flip through the color chart and bam, there they are. It's actually a Nissan 350Z color.
Right.
That we painted the wheels and put a matte clear on them, and
man,
there they are.
Everybody wants to know what they are.
Right.
Wheel that you can buy, because Big Oak is a dealer for TSW, so you can call Chris over here. You can get the wheels. We can have them shipped in here. If you want them custom painted any color, we can actually get them painted and ship them on to you, or bring them over here to Hoax Bluff, and we'll get them installed. Tell them what else we've done to this thing.
Well, you move into the interior, you know, it's hard to tell now because we're so used to it, but go look at a stock Yukon, you know.
Right.
All the plastic has came out and changed colors. Every piece of plastic, and dude, there's a lot of
plastic in that thing, right?
There's a lot of interior in that. So we pulled it completely out. I mean, there wasn't a stitch of cloth, plastic. I mean, the interior was completely bare.
Right down to the box and the dash.
That's it. Well, we pulled the dash out.
That's right, we had the dash out.
We took all of the seats, door panels, console lid, everything that could be covered in leather. Headliner, all of that went to Steve Holcomb at Pro Auto Interior. So everybody knows what kind of work Steve does. And, you know, basically, you just dropped it off over there and said, you know, make it happen, Captain, and picked out a couple of different...
Then Chris showed up with Moore
Giles
and said, here's the catalogs. You know, what do you want
What do you want? Anything.
Right. And then we went with the carbon fiber kit.
Yep, Sherwood Innovations. They hooked us up with the carbon fiber.
Real carbon fiber.
Yep, it's real carbon.
And a big shout out to them. It's hung. It's been out in the Vegas sun. Sat out in front of SEMA for a week, and we didn't get any sags or any pops or anything on that stuff either. And
so we got the interior back from Steve, and before we put any of the interior in, this thing is lined with hush mat from top to bottom, front to back.
If there was a space big enough for a piece of hush mat to stick on it, I was sticking it on.
That's right. And not just the sticky stuff, you know, the foam.
That's right.
Is behind the door panels. We used their tape to tape down all the wire from the stereo we put in it. You know, we used every product that they got, and you know, what an amazing product that hush mat is.
Right.
And then after we did all of that, Automotive Custom Carpets out of Anniston, Alabama, you know, they gave us the blue carpet.
Right on.
Which fit in there like a glove, like it's supposed to, and
made us custom floor
mats with the custom binding on the side of it. You know, one thing that we probably should have mentioned earlier, one of the first things we did was the suspension.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And, you know, it's got MaxTrax drop suspension under it. Dude, we put 4,000 miles on it, and most lowered vehicles ride okay. You know, unless it's built like our custom vehicles that we build here at Big Oak that are designed to be super low. But, dude, this thing rode like it did from the factory. If not, maybe a little better.
I agree.
Because it don't have the floatiness. You know, there's a sports kind of car feel to it, but it don't hurt you. It's the best factory suspension lowered vehicle that I've ever rode in and drove. Let me just run by these sponsors one more time, man.
No.
We can't give these guys enough love.
I agree 100%.
You know, Hush Matt and Zybar, Tim McCarthy, dude.
Thank you.
Man, I you know, words can't describe what you've done for us. Gave us a spot at SEMA, you know, been over backwards for us. Bradley Gray at the Blown Mafia.
Right on.
I mean, dude.
Wouldn't let us stop. Wouldn't let us quit. Right.
No, he was that last little kick in the butt. You know.
You're right. He was that last tug we needed to get over the finish line.
And you know, Jeff Heintz and Customs by Biggin, they worked wonders, you know, once we got there. Moore Giles leather.
Right on.
I mean, they been over backwards for us. You know, Concept One wanted to help. Eventually there will be one of their pulley systems on it. I know they're a big supporter of you. They're a big supporter of Big Oak Garage.
Right.
And Brice Thomas Radiator. What great friends they are.
Always
They
there.
build, like you said, your slogan for them. They keep cool cars cool.
That's right.
Daniel Maffett.
Right.
Dude, nailed it.
Right.
He nailed it.
Call Daniel anytime you need something, and he's always willing to help, man. I appreciate that.
Speed Engineering. The
Sam out
turbos,
there, yeah.
the turbos came from those guys. They actually called a week or so before SEMA, wanted to know if everything was going good, checked in on us, and big shout out to those guys. Roddy at RM Motor Werks built a motor. Steve Holcomb, I mean that dude blows your mind.
He does blow your mind.
You just drop something off and leave and come back and mind blown.
I tell people the best thing to do is just drop it off to Steve, let him work his magic, come back and write him a check. Luckily, I didn't have to write him a check, but
right.
Even if I did, it would have been worth it.
That's it. Auto Custom Carpets. Nate from IVS Wraps. Dude came in from freaking Wisconsin.
In the wintertime. February.
Yeah.
It was like February too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Eric Cook.
Right.
Sparkle Car Wash. Stepped up and
Got to keep it clean.
Hey, you got to keep it clean. That's right, baby. ARP bolts. Max tracks for the suspension.
Right.
We talked a little bit about those guys. They build a heck of a product.
Yeah.
Very, very happy with that. And Sherwood Innovations that gave us the carbon fiber stuff for the interior. So, man, thanks guys. And if it wasn't for you guys, it wouldn't be what it is. And I know Scottie appreciates it more than words can describe. And I've actually seen Scottie get emotional about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to know how much I appreciate it, you watch that video rolling into Vegas, and I couldn't talk for 2 days afterwards. I would try. I was so excited to tell people the story, but every time I would start, I would get emotional about it because cars are more than just cars to me. Obviously, it's a passion, and to have something like this, to this level, to tell you they support you is one thing, but man, the struggle that everybody went through and the expense and the inconvenience and all of that. And the one company that Will didn't mention is Big Oak, and there's a reason that the whole hood is a Big Oak logo, because without Will and Big Oak, now there's a lot of times this thing would have stalled. And you have to understand that for all the wonderful sponsors we had and for all the people that got involved, at the end of the day, Big Oak's the one that's going to make sure that all the details are worked out, that it all works together. And if there's anything that somebody didn't cover, or didn't get done, or can't handle, then they're stepping in and trying to make sure that it's done right. Because no matter if it's me or if it's you, if it's somebody coming by here for a set of wheels or a full build, Will and the Big Oak boys want to make sure y'all are happy and you got a good product and it's a safe product, and you'll go down the road and you feel like nobody took your money, it was worth what you paid for it. And so they treat me that way, they'll treat you that way. So again, big shout out to you and Big Oak, Will. And
Philip,
Saturdays and Sundays trying to get it ready and get it done.
Philip probably contributed more than anybody on his own.
Yeah.
And Philip and Shane.
And that's a good, if people want to follow what y'all got going and what you got coming out, what's the best way to do that?
Instagram we probably update more than anything. So Big Oak Garage on Instagram, or Will Posey, it's tied in together. Facebook Big Oak Garage, Twitter Big Oak Garage, and you can always go to our .com, bigoakgarage.com.
Awesome. Brother, I always appreciate hanging out with you and getting to talk to you, but this one's a little special. This one's mine, and I can't, thank you doesn't cover it. I mean, it's just not enough. Not just to the whole list of sponsors we went over to, but again, Big Oak and Will personally, Jimmy Posey. I mean, none of this happens without Mom's approval and her support. And there's been times when she's asked us what we're doing and where we're going with this, but she's never not backed us and seen us through it. So again, big shout out to the whole Posey family, the whole clan down here, everybody in Hoax Bluff. They always make me feel welcome. But Will, thanks so much, brother.
Thank you, Scottie.
So there you go, the 2005 GMC Denali, the ScottieDTV SSUV. Big thanks to everybody that helped me put it together, and of course to y'all that tune in and watch my videos and support what I do. I sure do appreciate it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. See ya!
Hey y'all, make sure you subscribe to this channel and visit ScottieDTV.com for an easy way to search the hundreds of videos I have posted. Either click the link in the description or the one at the end of this video.